Only face I've got.
You are up.
All right, Bannock County Commissioners are in session, and it's Tuesday, May 13th. There are no adjustments to the agenda. However, indigent business is not here today, so Sheriff, you are first on the list. Sheriff and friends, I should say.
Well, it's just good to see them all.
Tony Manu, Bannock County Sheriff.
Alex Hamilton, Chief Deputy Sheriff's Office.
Maggie Gutierrez, Bannock Commissioner's Office.
Okay, we're here to get approval to auction off. So these guns are from our asset forfeitures. So they were seized from usually drug cases, most of them, if not all of them, but they were seizures through criminal cases. So with those sales, the money would have to go into our drug seizure account from the proceeds that are sold. I know we came here with the last time, and I know Commissioner Moja asked about the last guns and why the FFLs had to be, well, apparently the former prosecutor, he had set it up that way. He did some research and said that in order to sell these, you have to have an FFL. That was what his recommendation was. So I looked when you asked that, and that's why the last guns that we came on asked about, that's why it was set up that way. That was the recommendation
And
from the
these are
prosecutor.
not, right?
These do
are
not.
just the general auction.
Correct. So,
Yeah, I was just told that you get more money in the general auction than you
Right.
do when you limit the number of people
right.
being able to bid on it.
Absolutely, I think that's true.
So Maggie's here. If you have any questions, she's the evidence custodian for these handguns or firearms, I should say. I think there's rifles in there as well.
I don't have any questions. We've done it before. We'll do it again.
I do like the being able to not limit the bidders. It
Right.
sounded to me like they were limited because of the way they were set up the last time.
Right. I don't exactly know what the legalization was through Prosecutor Trammell at that time. So,
Okay,
Looks good to me.
I would entertain a motion then.
I would make that motion that we go ahead and authorize those items to go to auction.
Okay, we have a motion. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
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 all right.
Go forth and continue.
Thank you.
Oh, before you go.
Yes.
We went out and did the jail inspection last week, and again, as always, you guys, it looks fantastic out there. It's bright, it's clean, it's fantastic, and so I just wanted to let you guys know that we appreciate all you guys do and your staff out there and the work they do. Fantastic
Appreciate
job.
it.
And we saw the report from the state, which mirrored what we saw, so it's fantastic. Any other-
The workstations.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? D-Pod, whatever. the
D-Pod,
big
D-Pod.
one.
Yeah.
I mean, that workshation is, it looks a whole lot
Yeah.
nicer.
Safer.
I sent you
Yes,
guys a new form
Yeah,
from,
saw that.
okay,
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
for the new
And then,
quarterly inspections.
and then the other day,
on the counter.
we got that. There was two of the inmates leaning in the women's side.
They were just kind of leaning on the counter and
They were told not to.
they were told, come
The
back.
individual that was in charge there was informed, we don't allow that.
Got our attention.
But also, thank you for being down there in McCammon on Friday. The substation down there for the sheriff's office, I think it's gonna be wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
So we're excited about that
It's a
also.
good addition down there.
So generally, how do you guys plan on using that? Or have you got that far in your planning?
We haven't got that far yet.
Office is big enough that Tony can have an office down
Oh,
there.
man. But I think it's, you just never know what the growth is in the future and what McCammon does in the future, so.
And that's what they planned on, that's why
Yeah.
they built it as big as they did. City fire station
happens.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or, the quarters office in the old fire station.
yeah.
But I know we intend to do some training out there with that new training facility.
Great,
So,
great training room down there. Great
Do you
training.
need any budget items that you're looking at to actually,
No, I think we
Okay.
can, our training is usually within our own training budget, and it's just a matter of where we have it.
Okay.
So, and it's set up to have training, and I think it's good to have training out there, and because usually we have a big presence
Yeah.
of whether it's multi-agencies or just our agency, and show the, just our presence there down in the South counties.
Great, great. Well, while you're here, I would move that we approve and accept the quarterly jail inspection that we completed last week. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Again, thank you, gentlemen, for
Thank you.
great work. Appreciate you. Ladies. Yes, and ladies, excuse me. Anita and Randy, property tax discussion.
Okay, Anita Hymas, Bannock County Assessor, Randy Hobson, Chief Deputy Assessor, and we're here to discuss some of the nonprofits that we had given you to review.
Okay, and again, appreciate all the work that you and Randy had done in separating things out and making it much easier for us. And in talking with some of the commissioners, we have several that we agree with that are yeses and nothing too serious there. But there's a couple that we need to discuss on the record and make sure that everybody's aware of what we're talking about. So the first one is the Portneuf Greenway Foundation. They have a property owned by Go LLC that has a small part of the Greenway on it. There's a little bit of debate going on, so we'll talk about that up here. Commissioner Bullock, I talked to you this morning, so I'll let you speak first on that one if you have a thought.
My biggest problem with it is getting ownership, who actually owns it, and how's it being used. Because with the criteria we have, if we go too far down one area, it opens up a gate for anything and everything. So we're just talking ground, aren't we? Land?
Yes, and I believe it's like I think we carved out about 6 acres.
Yeah, it's a pretty large parcel. I don't recall exactly
It's
how.
28 acres, I
Yeah,
think.
28 or something. And we've kind of carved out 6.5 acres, 6.57 or something like that, that the trail runs along in the past. But yes, it's just bare ground.
What's the financial impact one way or another on whether we have an exemption there or not?
Well, it's classified as commercial property, so it's, I mean, the exemption is, I don't have the financials on it, but it's significant.
So it's commercial versus,
Ag.
Yeah, it's not ag or anything, it's,
how do you classify that as commercial? Just location,
yeah.
not by use?
Well, it's kind of got a rock pit on it or something that they don't really use, but it's right there on the South County connector.
Because we do it by use, not location. Yeah, it is by use.
So I'm still kind of wrestle. I mean, I know where that's at, how it wraps around through there. I mean, probably okay one way or another, but I just don't see how it makes even an impact on how we do that. So I guess your recommendation?
That's why they sent it to us.
That's why we're here, yes.
Where it's owned by a private company, that's the one criteria. But it's probably not the only, because it does state that we have the ability to do whatever we want besides that. But because it is owned by a personal, private, I would probably lean to not including that in as a parcel.
Commissioner Moser?
It's pretty simple for me. It's a no.
Yeah,
It's a
so-
plain no. It is not owned by the Greenway. The Greenway is the one that gets the exemption. We have others that the Greenway owns. That's owned by county.
Yeah,
That's
so-
owned by individuals.
Yeah.
And it's pretty plain in the statute.
Okay, so that one will be a no then. No exemption, okay? The next one is the Portneuf Health Trust, and it's the Portneuf Health Trust and Medical at Northgate LLC. That's on 2850 Olympus Drive. This is again one of those ones that can go back and forth because it is a part of the hospital, and it is an extension of the hospital, I believe. Do you have any other information on that?
We really don't.
Okay. Commissioner Moser, thoughts?
And I, with the information that we have here, I have all of them as a no on Portland Health Trust.
Now, there is one that's the office building.
Right, we'll talk about that in a
Okay.
second then. Okay, what about this one, Commissioner Bullock?
Yeah, again, I wish there was a little more information. I mean, we don't have any financials from any of the leaseowners, leasees. So we're just relying to say, yeah, it's been leased to this and this and this, but it's so bare-boned information. Without better information, I don't know if we have any other choice.
And even if we say a no, they have the opportunity to come and appeal to us.
Right.
And then we get more information and we talk to them
And
face to face.
Yeah, if they would have given us more information up front, we could have streamlined it, but I don't, it's just, here it is, it's leased to these guys.
So based on the information provided by our legal staff, it said Idaho code defines a hospital as a facility which is primarily engaged in all the following activities. Number one, 24-hour inpatient services for acute illness, diagnostic and therapeutic services for medical diagnosis and treatment, rehabilitation for injured, sick, or disabled persons, and I'm not even gonna be able to pronounce this one, obstetrical care. Took a shot at that. So this property, I felt maybe could tie into some of that, but I don't know if it's open 24 hours or for inpatient services up there. I think it's more of a clinic or an extension of the hospital, so your vote is no on that?
No.
Ken, your vote is no?
I don't have any other reason not to because of what you just stated.
Okay, so that is a no as well then. The next one is the office building on 500 South 11th Avenue by PHT Real Estate Holding LLC. The information they provide us says that they lease 57.11% of the building. All leased spaces are health services except for the City of Pocatello Police Department, Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Idaho, Friends of the Children. But they say profits are not derived from these leases. My take on this is, since they're leasing out, they're receiving income from some of that, I would probably allow for like a 43% write-off for the part that is not leased and that is owned, or operated solely for Portland Health Trust. Thoughts?
Well, like I said, I said no on all of them.
Okay.
Again, same thing, I don't think they're giving us the full information to show us any other choice. If it's leased out, you could construe that as a profit-making thing, unless there was some other financial considerations, and with the statute that we're doing, I guess I would have to concur with that.
Okay.
At least that way we're staying consistent with. If there is more information that they can come up with, then they can present that.
Okay, so that would be a no. The next one, Easter Seals Goodwill. Again, if we go back to the council we received from our council, these properties that are in discussion on like Easter Seals is not owned by a charitable organization. So Commissioner Moser, your thoughts?
I'm a no.
Okay. That's 3 no's on that one. FMC Employee Park, again, not owned by a charitable organization, and people pay to use this park, so I'm a no. Commissioner?
I'm a no.
3 no's. Idaho Youth Ranch, this is again like the Easter Seals, it is not owned by a nonprofit, so I'm a no.
I'm a no.
Mr. Bullock?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Correct, no. Portland Health Trust owns Center Street Ortho on 2240 East Center Street. Again, that is branded as the Portland Hospital, but that is a for-profit doctor's office. And again, going back to what Commissioner Bullock says, they did not provide any other additional information as far as charitable services that they provide, so I think that is a no. Commissioner?
I'm a no.
Agreed.
Okay, 3 no's. Bingham Memorial Hospital at 850 Yellowstone. That is a doctor's clinic on Yellowstone Avenue. Again, I do not believe that meets the charitable definition or the definition of a hospital as outlined by council, so I'm a no.
I'm a no.
Nope.
Okay, 3. There's one on 1595 Bannock Highway that is owned by Bingham Memorial Hospital. I'm the same on that. Commissioner Moser?
Same. No.
Okay,
Nope.
3 no's. Another one by Bingham Memorial, 1151 Hospital Way, Building D. Again, I don't believe that meets the criteria, so I'm a no.
I'm a no.
No.
No, okay. Portland Health Trust, PHT Vista Primary Care, which is at 110 Vista Drive. Again, using the same criteria we've applied to others, not enough information about charitable services to make that a yes, so I vote no.
No.
Okay. This was an interesting one, Solomon, an income. Legal owner of property is Marlene Kilpack. She was requesting a property waiver. And Commissioner Moser, what are your thoughts on that one?
No.
Okay.
No.
Commissioner Bullock?
I don't see any criteria there at all.
Okay, so that one is a 3-no. The last 3 properties in question belong to the Harvest Church of Idaho Incorporated. This is bare land that is currently in the agricultural zone up by the landfill. And again, according to the definition provided in statute, bare land is taxable unless they can directly show evidence that it is used for religious purposes, but this property does not look like it can be used for anything. So on those 3 requests, those 3 parcels, I vote no. Commissioner Moser?
The same, no.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. That should be about it. Everything else is a go based on what you've given us.
Okay.
Do you,
Living Waters.
what about, yeah,
Oh, did I miss Living Waters?
I've got a few here that we're missing.
Okay.
So the ISU pharmacies,
Oh, the pharmacy.
That was in your email.
That one, I'm a yes.
I have mixed feelings on it, but it's a yes for me.
Again, the same criteria, we don't know enough information on that. You would think if they would want that status, they would give us one more sheet, give us one more paragraph or whatever, but with that, we're talking such a small deal, and it could be great, so I guess I'll err that way. We'll go with a yes on that one there, so.
Okay. Which other ones do you have, Randy?
Living Waters Church is a new church, basically moving into Fannie Lee's church.
Yeah.
So they bought the building. I mean, it's pretty much a slam dunk, but
Yeah, that was,
since it was a new one, we just
that
presented
was a
it.
yes.
Yeah, that was in there, yes.
I had yes.
I had yes. They own the building.
Yeah, the church owns the building.
And then the ones I haven't marked down, I guess, so the Greenways, their personal properties are yes.
Yes.
right?
Personal properties are yes for me.
Yeah,
And
if we didn't talk about them, they're a yes.
And then 1001 North 7th, PHT, no, I'm guessing, since you went no on all the others.
What's the one on North 7th?
That's the Blocks building.
Oh, that was a yes for me, because that's they have the Health West Clinic in there, which does provide,
And that was a percentage, right?
Right?
Did I miss? I must have missed an email or something that I didn't.
That was 57% or something.
they had that same, we lease 57% of the building
Okay.
on that one, so that would be the percentage that, but I would carve out the space for Health West and the 6th District Crisis Center.
They have that, Hope, they have other things there that almost dance with the same thing. They can relate. Again, if all of those I'm okay with, it's just the other, here, we've leased this much of the building, I don't know which percentage. I'd love to see it broke out to who you actually leased it to, in that 50 or 7%.
So
Just to say 57%, I would love to say, here, is it by square footage? Is it by income? How are they getting their 57%? That's what,
Normally, we would do it by square footage.
Yeah.
You do it
In our
by square
office,
footage?
is how we would do it.
I don't have a reason not to do that, but like I say, in business, sometimes income or dollars, whatever, may be a better ratio. But here again, if
But they
We-
have to prove
they give us the 57%, we're just gonna have to go with that number unless we have another criteria.
So is the exemption on the 57% or on the 43%?
the 43%.
And I do recall you saying that now. I must have been asleep.
It's okay.
that.
It's okay. We're moving fast.
Yeah. Okay, that's all on my list.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Shanda? Oh,
We'll do a motion when all of them are presented to us.
yeah.
we gotta send the letters out and all that kind of stuff too.
Keep my distance because Buddy sounds sick.
No,
Allergies?
it's just allergies, yeah, we're good.
Shanda Crystal, Chief Procurement Officer, and I've got
Buddy Rombrell, Public Works Assistant Director.
the item we have before the board today is a recommendation to award the chip seal aggregate invitation to bid. As we went out to bid, we gave a couple different options that companies could respond to, 4 in total. And in that solicitation, we had phrase in there that we, Bannock County, retain the right to place multiple orders throughout the duration of the agreement. So having that phrase in there is going to allow us to award this a little bit different. Our recommendation to award is going to be a little bit different than other ones. But after we reviewed and talked with DePatco, they were the only provider, but they did provide us options for all 4 of what we had asked for. We would like to recommend that the board award Sunrock, doing business as DePatco, for the chip seal aggregate invitation to bid for both options 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are going to be the aggregate material with the alternative specifications, and Buddy can speak more about going out and making sure that they're going to work for our needs.
So this is the same thing that we did last year with them. We saved quite a bit of money by going with a less specific chip. So it's not as high as a grade of chip as like say the state or some of those other agencies would use. It's the same thing that the county's done as far as I'm aware of for a long time.
It's
So
about
you're-
$6 a ton that
Yeah.
we'll save. Yeah, in going with them.
And so that's kind of the direction we would like to go, just in the essence to save some money. And then the 4 part would be the delivery part of.
That's what I was gonna ask,
Of
is that
this.
for us delivering or
Yeah.
hauling?
And so we just kind of wanted that as an option in case we get in a time crunch with our chip seal, if we have to just have them deliver it to the fill and pit or whatever we choose to do.
So option 3 is us hauling and option 4 is them hauling, is
Yes.
that right? Okay.
Yep.
And are you guys working, is this stuff all gonna go on the north end of the county this year, or is that where you're chip sealing?
So it just kind of depends on how things go. If everything goes super smooth, we'd like to get the chips kind of more further towards the south end
Okay.
this year, because where we're doing this whole area, the Chubbuck area, we shouldn't have to chip seal that theoretically for
Okay.
7 more years, so.
I was just confused on where you're going with that. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, that's kind of our plan with those, so.
What quarry do you get this out of?
They just bring it out that pit that's kind of out by Simplot there, in that area, so. It's a real short haul for them, so it's fairly cheap to have them do that versus if we were to have them haul clear to Virginia or something. I think the cost would go up significantly, so. But like everything else, I think last year we paid $17 a ton, and it's 21 this year, so everything's going up. But,
Okay.
so.
Any questions?
I guess it's one of those things that, just as a word, when we refer to the chip, and I just soon not use the word Chubbuck, because
Okay.
somebody listening or whatever might misunderstand that we're chipping for Chubbuck. We're not.
Okay.
It's in the general area of Chubbuck or North County.
County, yeah.
In case somebody gets a transcript or whatever, it might appear that we are giving some services to the city of Chubbuck, even though it's a direction. Just a thought, because
Yeah.
I've had to stop and think, on that. It's
Yeah.
north side of the county next to Chubbuck or
Yeah.
something that, if we could use that, it might get us out of some hot trouble.
Clarify.
Get us out of some hot
Yeah,
mess.
yeah. But I agree with what we're doing here. And is it our option to choose whether we want it hauled or not, depending
Yes.
on our needs, or, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So the hard part with the hauling is in this agreement, we have to have it all done by August 1st. That's kind of like right in the middle of our
Busy season.
operation. So if if things go smooth and we have a couple weeks that we can haul, then absolutely we will do that. But if things get down to crunch time and we have to have them haul, that's the route that we like to go, so.
Okay.
And we can specify at each order, right, which path we're gonna take, so.
Okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion on that then.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the chip seal aggregate award.
To,
Sunrock, doing business as DePatco.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I've got a letter prepared.
Hey, buddy. Yes, sir. Do you want to stay for the next discussion? Okay. You can stay up here. Oh, Shanna's got a little bit more, sorry.
Yep, I'll be quick.
Didn't want to rush you off, buddy.
So the second item I have before the board is a potential signature on a contract with Pro Builders. This would be for the installation of the diesel generator out at the detention center. This went out to bid a little bit ago, and that contract has been reviewed by our legal department as well as theirs, and is back before the board. I would recommend that the commission sign the contract with Pro Builders for the diesel generator installation in the amount of $51,775.
And Levi's happy with this?
Yeah.
Okay. That's quite a good savings from what we originally thought for this project.
Yes,
so.
yeah, so we're excited. The equipment's been ordered, and then we'll just arrange, if this is signed, right, we'll move forward and arrange as that delivery date becomes more clear for us.
Okay, good job. Okay. Anybody want to move on?
I still gotta hold my hand up. So where's this, we've had like generator discussions about 3 or 4, where is this generator going?
So this is the large indoor, back by the boiler room that was redone.
Replacing the
HVAC
main
units.
generator
At the
in the
jail.
jail.
At the jail?
Yes.
Okay, that, I guess that's what,
Yeah.
I need that specified, and maybe somebody else that is looking at the record. So this generator is the one in that building that,
It is totally replacing the
look behind the
generator at
jail.
the jail.
It is, as you're, right before you go outside past the boilers,
Okay.
there's a room off to your right.
okay.
That's where that generator is in, so it's technically inside the jail.
Because we've talked about other generators in other places, and I got behind some of that. Somebody else might too, so okay, now that I know that, I would love to make that motion that we will go ahead and sign the contract with Pro Builders regarding that generator at the rear of the jail. Is that specific enough?
We have a motion. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shanda. All right, Matthew and Buddy.
Matthew Phillips, HR Director. And if you'd like, we could go into executive session and I can give you an update on last week's executive session because we've had a few things transpire
Okay,
with Buddy's staff as well. So
okay.
this issue before you shouldn't be too intense, but I just want to give you an update on last week's if that's all right.
Okay,
I'll go ahead and make a motion to go into executive session under 74-206, 1A and B.